Hello, hello. Happy weekend. How is everyone? I had to go get my matches. I don't know why they weren't where they usually are, but they weren't. Just to clear space and prepare us while I meditated. Okay. I think I still have a smile permanently stuck on my face from yesterday. I want to thank everyone for coming. I think 75% of you have your door prize in your email already. So if you haven't checked yet, check your email and you should have your door prize. And my sincerest thanks, because yesterday was it was fun, right? Like, we had fun and people learned things, and in the end, like, I couldn't have asked to end it a better way, but also it was soul satiating for me. So I feel like I have to thank all of you that could attend. I know some people wanted to and couldn't, but we're not waiting a year to do that again. And I will just say, I'll let people say whether they think anybody who paid got their $4 worth, but you know, it was just good space. It was fun. Okay. So we are here to do, I'm going to pull a card for each sign and just see what comes up, because lately I honestly feel like I need less cards and more is coming in without them. And so that's what I would like to do. And I think that next week, you all let me know how you feel. I think next Sunday I might want to just do like love, draw a card for like what's going on with emotions and love life for everyone. I feel like y'all can't see my pink light or anything, but okay. Yeah, I gotta fix that. Okay. Good. I'm glad you got it. I sent it to a couple of the members who, well, you know what, love life. I get that, but like it could also be about like what's going on with your emotions. I mean, you know, I'm a pretty tough Cancer, so like a lot of times I know that it's can be sometimes for some of us past wounds, or like how do we get ourselves ready to calibrate to attract something healthy in. Because I think if you're in this community and you're all about your own personal evolution, then you're probably not about the warm body, right? Some people are like, I just don't want to be single. I am happy now, so somebody has to come in and add to that, right? So that made me a little bit more picky, and I probably had to do some like soul searching with my wounds too, to have recalibrated and made sure that the energy I wasn't putting out was saying that like don't bother, basically. You know, it's always good to recalibrate so we can check into the emotions. I totally agree though, and I think that you're probably not the only one who feels that way. It was worth way more than $4.44. Thank you, Karen. And anybody who hasn't gotten their door prize will get it today. I have a seminar. So they'll get it after, like in another, you should expect it between another 3 and 6 hours. Okay. And I know that I have videos to record for the extendeds, and then Cancer, full Cancer readings will be live premieres with me in the chat, not a live stream, on Wednesday. Okay. Woo. Sat down, runny nose. So I'm vibing with somebody. Hi, Amber and Maricela and Karen and Juan and Teresa and Annika. Charlie. Hi, Michael. Y'all are so, I love how y'all love each other. Hi, Shorty. Hi, Renata. I hope I'm not missing anybody. I probably am. Hi, Mary. Did I say hi to Amber? Okay. Let's, Aries. Let's start with Aries. We have, okay, Aries, the Six of Pentacles is in reverse. Now, for me, the Six of Pentacles is a very interesting card. Depending on what deck I pull for, you know, the traditional Rider-Waite shows almost like a charity situation, like, but also a lot of cards show somebody that might have to be like in begging mode, and no one wants to be that way, to feel less than, to feel like you're dependent on somebody, and to feel a lack of independence. It also can mean like reciprocity. It could also mean help is coming. It also can mean you're in the position to give. So what's interesting about this is that we have one upside down and two who are kind of, I don't know, laying homage to that abundance, that pentacle up there. There's this tiger energy has tree roots instead of feet. When this is upside down, I feel like you're probably about to I feel like the tides are turning, tables are turning. That's what I'm hearing. Aries, this is also great if you have first house placements. There's a lot here about mindset and abundance. It's funny because we did a whole thing about that yesterday. Something or someone or some system that you felt dependent on. And I'm hearing rat race. I'm hearing tables are turning. There may be somebody that you felt financially tied to, and they knew it and they weaponized it. And now those tables are turning. When we get this card upside down, for me, it's a lot about understanding our own power, and that we're not, it's often, when it's in the upright, one of the translations is that it can make you feel, I know I'm tripping on my words because I'm trying to be very careful and not give you your feelings to have, because that's important. Your feelings are your own. I don't want to influence them, right? In perception, you may have felt like you had less power than you actually have. When this card is flipped upside down, there's going to be a realization. And, you know, the North Node is going through Aries right now. There's going to be a realization that you didn't have those shackles. You didn't have, you know, you had the power all the time. Click your heels 3 times. This feels big. I have a tightness in my chest. I feel like if I'm talking to somebody, I'm talking to somebody with anxiety right now. My heart's beating fast. There's a tightness in my chest. And I feel that this move, even for Aries energy, is going to be very brave. You have to sit in the idea that you have more power than you think you do in this situation. And I definitely feel like I'm talking to somebody here who felt tied to a situation, a job, a person, a relationship, or even a dichotomy, even somebody you don't deal with on a daily basis. And you may want to deal with them less, but you feel like not only can you not deal with them less, like you're dealing with them the minimum, but when you deal, it's when you deal with them, how you can express yourself. And they have maybe over the years, or this situation or this group of people makes you feel a little less than, maybe makes you feel a little anxious. The tides are turning. The tables are turning. It starts with your mindset, but also someone around you is going to experience an ego death. And I'm getting for a few of you, this person is not someone close to you, but someone in power of you. So maybe like a boss or whatever, but when they experience their ego death, it's going to have a trickle down. And, you know, oh, how the mighty have fallen. And I think we're going to see that a lot in the collective anyway. But this really feels strong. Whew. I can't tell you, like, my chest is so tight. I knew the second that I sat down and my nose started to run, and I didn't bring tissues again because I'm not a runny nose kind of girl. It's just not, I don't have tissues all over my house. Aries, I really like this for you. And I do feel like when this starts, when you start to feel the shift, when you start to dip your toe into the idea that you have more power. Again, there's a perception that you have less power than other people, that they have some say-so in your ability to thrive, and perspective pulled back, which I think it might take for this other person to have their moment, their ego death. And ego death doesn't mean somebody gets publicly humiliated or anything like that. It just means they have a moment of introspection and growth and humbling, you know, and that can be completely private to them. You're an Aries and you feel like this, yeah. But when you stop seeing them like bigger, better, stronger, more powerful, more abundant, more naturally easy to like make and save and, you know, grow money, when you see that as a them thing and not, when you stop seeing it as like a them thing versus a you, what your capabilities are here, that is when you will pull back, and instead of like perception from your wounds, this will be perspective. It just shifts everything. Aries and first house people, this could even be about being at the job you're now at and liking it, and realizing that maybe you're doing more than one job but only getting paid for one. That you worked so hard to be valuable. You worked so hard, especially in a fragile climate right now with, you know, the workforce. And so you probably worked so hard to make yourself invaluable that you haven't realized that the power now is with you, because if you were to go, they'd have to hire 3 people to do your job, which means more salaries, more benefits, blah, blah, blah. This is big, Aries. This is a shift. You're going to have to pull yourself back. a little bit. The second you get into, and the difference between perspective and perception is like, you're in a situation, you're one of the two people, and you're feeling everything. You're seeing everything play out through your feelings and through your POV, through your point of view. Perspective would be the same exact situation happening to a friend, and you're listening to what's happening, and you are giving your heartfelt advice, your cheerleader advice. You're like, hell no, let's go get it, cheering, your encouragement from perspective. It's funny because I swear this was a conversation last night. It's very easy to say, go get him, tiger, when it's perspective and you're not one of the two people. But if, you're working out of, I've dealt with this before, I know how this ends. I don't. I'm in fuck around and find out, but I'm not so in fuck around and find out that I really want to find out that this person pulls all their power and pulls my ability to thrive. Could be relationship too, but it's just, my chest is starting to like loosen up. I almost want to be like, I love you, Aries. I want to go do Taurus now because this is not pleasant. But there is a stress, like you're good until you think of that situation or that hold over your finances or whatever it is. And I'm telling you, for some of you, you work to make yourself so invaluable. You are such a go-getter. You're if they need something done, they give it to you. And this made you feel good because it secured your place. But now you're literally doing more than you're getting paid for. So look out for that. Let's move on to Taurus. One card, lots coming through. Very interesting. Okay, Taurus. King of Wands. And I don't know how well you can see this. That is Bob from Stranger Things. Like, does that help? The card is just hard to see because what it is one of the kids drew a picture of him. They put it on the fridge, and this is the picture from the fridge. This is Bob from Stranger Things. He's wearing a crown. The thing about this King of Wands, particularly Taurus, and my Taurus lovelies, is, again, I feel like this whole thing today is going to be, hi Zoe, hi Earth Angel, hi Shigamafal. I know it's Shingami Fall. I like the other way. I love this for Taurus. Okay, so Taurus is, obviously you have Jupiter going through, you've had, the Pluto and Capricorn, especially late degrees, Taurus, trining, and even though a trine is nice, sustained Pluto transits can feel very, very challenging. Hi, Lioness. But you've had Uranus, and there it'll stay until 2026. When we get this particular King of Wands is just so different. And that's why, like, I just let Spirit lead me to whichever deck, because there's going to be a reason. Bob didn't look left or right in Stranger Things. He was played by the lovely Sean Astin. And depending on your age, you either know him from Goonies, Rudy, Samwise Gamgee in Lord of the Rings. And so he's this very kind of sweet guy, and he comes in and he's just stability and support. And he looks at Joyce like, whatever you need, I got you. You need stuff with the kids. But he's not he's so Taurus. He's a hug and a cupcake. He figures out what Joyce needs, what her children needs. He understands that they've had a rough time, and it makes him happy to give them whatever their hug and a cupcake is, right? This is very Taurus energy. And if you actually ask me, I would tell you that Bob from Stranger Things is Taurus. But he's got enthusiasm for everything. He just finds it, you know? And it makes it infectious. He makes you want to hope again. He does the right things. And so sometimes the King of Wands can be a little bombastic. It's like Mr. Lover, you know. But this King of Wands is telling you, you may see yourself as a support person, as, you know, side character, as like the main character's best friend. You may see yourself not as, you know, the protagonist in your story, but you really are. And like understanding that your selflessness is not making you a doormat. I think I'm getting the picture of somebody who feels like other people sometimes can like walk in a room and command what they want, who they want, when they want it, how they want it. And you feel like that will never be me, right? Because one, I don't have that kind of ego. And two, I'm not interested in commanding things, right? And there's been a misperception for yourself that you're not the magnetic energy in the room and that you're not the big attraction in the room. And let me tell you, people, your metaphysical practitioners and astrologers have been telling you this for years. As more of the population wakes up, authenticity is it. All day, every day. I think that we even turn on the TV or turn on YouTube or turn on TikTok or Instagram. And sure, there are some people that have great, aesthetic to their content, or there's an appeal because it's understood they're almost playing a character. But we can all kind of smell people out who are full of themselves, who are not being real with us, who are there for the like count. And I understand everybody has to make money and big accounts breed better business and all that. But when they sacrifice all of that, you could just tell. You can tell when somebody's not being authentic. You can tell when someone's not being genuine. And I want you to, and this goes to anybody who feels like they're not that person. They're not the person who walks in a room and commands all the attention and looks good and says all the right things. I want you to know that the world is shifting. You don't have to change because the world is changing, and it's gonna change a whole lot more. I want to cry. I feel like you have underestimated yourself. Taurus in second house placements, you've underestimated yourself for a really long time, and I don't feel like you need all the shine. You don't need all the attention. But I think people gravitate towards you, and that is going to be worth its weight in gold so much more. Again, we're allowing people to be crybabies now. We're allowing people to need support. We're not shaming support. We're not shaming things like neurodivergence and ADHD. We're not shaming people who suffer with any kind of depression, we're no longer shaming that. There may be a small demographic that is, but we're not. The energy's not. The globe is not. The world is not. People are not. The idea of trying to look perfect and without flaw is sus as fuck now. The supportive, beautiful, real, our bumps and bruises give us character. And I'm sorry, but make us more beautiful. You are the vibe. And I don't want you to be surprised when all of a sudden you feel like people openly gravitate. I feel like people maybe quietly gravitate towards you, and you feel like odd man out in big crowds, in social standing, in ranking, job, social circles, that kind of thing. Don't be surprised if it starts to shift, not just privately, but publicly. This King of Wands is about passion and life and actual enthusiastic, unconditional love. It is an emotionally mature energy that doesn't need to be stroked for their ego 24/7. The other thing that this tells me is while you're going through trials and tribulations, Taurus, and I know a lot of you are right now, I mean, please stay you, because it'll make you triumphant. Please stay you. Exactly as you are. Don't change. The world is changing, and like, it might not feel good right now, but you will end up on top. Especially, I believe, in my humble opinion, that universe rewards authenticity. I really, really do. You just have to believe in yours. Okay. Let's go Gemini. Geminis, how you doing? Okay. I almost just said, I think you only have one placement left in, hi Jody. I think you only have one Gemini and third house, but Gemini specifically, you only have one placement. I want to say my software decided to update, so I actually didn't look at like all the exact transits today. I know Mars moving into Capricorn. I think that, all the Sag placements are on their way out, and there's nothing wrong with Sag. Sag is great. But when we are in the season of our opposite sign, it can feel like kryptonite to our main energies. And so, hi Corey. Hi Zoe. So when, in other words, we're in Capricorn season, I feel that. I feel a little bit more vulnerable, all of those things. When we are in Sag season for Geminis, it can feel a little bit more like that's your kryptonite. Where I was just about to say, you're almost done with all of the Sag placements, and that will feel like a little less of a hold on who you are, and especially people with Gemini sun. We have the Hermit in reverse. I know for me, and I only have 3 Cancer placements. My 3 Cancer placements know now that during Capricorn season, I have to go a little bit more inwards. I have to really be watching how I'm reacting to things and not be reactive. And for Geminis, as we come out of all of the Sag placements in the sky, The Hermit in reverse tells us it's time. Like, you probably were just uncharacteristically, I think I said that wrong, maybe a little less social, or a little less willing to give your opinion, or maybe somebody said something to you about how much you talk. Any of those things, you might have gone in. What's really interesting with this card is that he is not illuminating his way forward, where usually that's what the Hermit is doing. He's lighting the way forward. He is not looking down. In this card, we have him looking at Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. It's in the infinity. My end is my beginning. Again, authenticity. I dislike Gemini shaming. I dislike when people say Geminis are two-faced. I don't like any of that. Geminis have a superpower of being able to actually see both sides. Again, I will say it all the time. You will find a lot of actors are Gemini because it's easy for them to be authentically who they are and step into a role that's nothing like them. Not that all signs can't do that, but there is a plethora of Gemini actors. With this Hermit card, I think you're coming out of self-examination mode. I don't know what happened, Geminis and third house placements, but all I keep feeling is in the last 2 months, somebody made you feel really subconscious for your choices, for how you react to things. I mean, it could have been about like how much you talk, or I just feel really a sense of overthinking, which you don't need an astrologer or a metaphysical practitioner to tell you that Geminis overthink. But this feels like an examination to the point where you started to not react how you normally would and started to criticize and judge your own thoughts, your own everything. This over-examination of the snake that eats itself, my end is my beginning. You're coming out of that, Gemini. I just keep picking up somebody who made you so self-conscious. And I don't know if that started in the last couple of months or if it was just triggered in the last couple of months. This feels like something that goes back to early environment. Gemini placements, especially I feel like Gemini moon, can often not feel safe or not feel safe to be them when they're younger. And that is where the overthinking, the over-questioning, the over-examination, the hyper-aware or feeling judged to the point where, Peter Puma, Bugs Bunny, I'll give myself my own lumps, I'll help myself. Yeah, so, and someone saying in the comments, Gemini is one of your favorite signs, but somebody they know is like literally 4 different people. That was probably born of survival. That might have been born of survival for that person. Because that's what I'm saying. There's usually, doesn't feel safe to be them. So the people call Libras people pleasing, but Geminis want to see both sides of the story. They really identify with people making them feel wrong too much, or not safe when they're younger. So their people pleasing is literally being able to work into being somebody they feel is palatable depending on the crowd, the situation. And yeah, the person in power. You know, if Gemini gets a bad rap for being two-faced, it's because at some point the person had, whoever had power to make their life miserable or safe was the person they were smart enough to know they had to make sure that they didn't piss off. So it becomes a survival skill, as everything does for us. We all have them. But that's the people pleasing them. It just looks different. I think every sign has a little people pleasing. I think we can't put that all on Libra. But their fellow air sign Gemini for sure. The point is here is that I hope as you feel less of the kryptonite vibe of being in Sag season, as those last placements wane, because we're in Capricorn season, but there's a few, and so as that starts, that kryptonite effect starts to wane. I hope that you will stop just examining that my end is my beginning. I am my own worst enemy. Listen, we're all our own worst enemy at some point, a couple of times a year. But the ways that we become our own worst enemy is to be completely blind to our own behavior and be completely non-self-aware, and to be so overly self-aware that it robs us of our authenticity and our processing. Because if you are curating all of your responses for the crowd you're in, instead of working from that healed version of who you are today, allowing tomorrow self to be different, more healed, and not shaming yesterday's self, what we do is we actually deny our own natural processing. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to do that anymore. And it's time. It is time, as Rafiki says, to stop. I want you to curate your behaviors and responses less. And my God, give yourself, and we're all co-conspirators. We're co-conspirators when we let somebody rob us of our power, not on purpose, but through our wounds. We're co-conspirators with universe. I can sit here and say it's time, and then do one thing. Figure out one thing you can do a day. Rephrasing, redirecting something, but pull it back for yourselves. Gemini. Okay, we're going to pull a card for Cancer. Not those, though. Ooh. All right, Cancer, 4th house placements. Okay, you guys got the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Or the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is no more accepting crumbs. That's what this is always for me. Sometimes Cancers give more than they can. They want to make everybody happy. They want to make sure everybody feels nurtured and safe. That's the insurance policy, to be loved back. We all have our insurance policies to make sure we're loved back, right? For a Cancer to step outside of their attachment, of their own identity, based on whether people stay, whether they get loved back, is, and I've been talking about this for years, is like the PhD growth. It's the masterclass in being a Cancer, is to move past that attachment of other people's opinions, attachment of, am I loved back? And because it's such a deep internal thing, it also causes us to charge less, ask for less, because what if we ask for too much? What if we're too much? What if we're too hard to love, right? And that's a human thing, not for everyone, but for a lot of people. It often trickles down with finances for Cancer. Fourth house energy wants stability just like second house does, but in a different way. They're more interested in healing generational trauma, making sure the home is a happy place, rather than securing the bag. And so when we look at the Page of Pentacles in reverse, to me, this tells me, you know, this is somebody who's not accepting small offers. In other words, you might give 20 hours of your time for half of what you're worth for 3 hours of your time, because it's a good cause, because it's another notch in that insurance policy of making sure that you're appreciated and loved the way you want to make people feel appreciated and loved. With the Page of Pentacles in reverse, it's not just that you're not accepting crumbs. The page comes as a message. It comes as communication. It comes as a less mature, right? We have the King being the most mature, evolved energy. It's not masculine or feminine. Hi, Dolly. And the page is the least mature. So it's not just about not accepting crumbs anymore or understanding your worth more. This has to be about you first understanding that that is not a good offer. This is not something, you know, I haven't spoken to you in 2 years, but I'm available right now and I'm going to say hi. You're going to drop every other responsibility you have, even if it costs you money, to respond, right? And being very brave as a Cancer to say no, just to not accept this less mature form of stability or abundance, or because, you know, Pentacles isn't just money. The idea that somebody handing you a crumb of their time, a crumb of, not as, the pages aren't as reliable. Pages aren't as reliable of a message. That's why if you say the Page of Swords is usually internet snooping, gossip, it can be misinformation, you know, and the Page of Cups is nice shoes when they're really madly in love with you. It's not really reliable, and it's a small amount compared to what it could be. This Page of Pentacles in reverse is going to come as a test, Cancer. It's going to come as a test when that person comes out of ghost mode. It's going to come as a test. When you go to split a bill at dinner, it's going to come as a test when you're offering your heart, your home, your labor. And it is going to be up to you. And it's going to be hard. Because what if you're less lovable if you say no? I promise you, if you're a Cancer energy or a fourth house energy, you have made investments into people with your love and your support and giving them space, and not all Cancers are smothering, and so when the opportunity comes to collect a penny of the bazillion dollars worth of love, support, energy, patience, all of these things comes, you're gonna want to feel like that is the reward. That's all I needed, right? I don't need as much reciprocity as other people do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And so understanding that for yourself, and not, it's going to come as a test, Cancers. I feel this a lot for somebody you may have imagined a future with, whether that's a friend or a romantic interest. And because it's a page, for some of you, even possibly kids. Somebody you imagine things to be a certain way, and you have made all the investments and you have put in the work for your end to support that structure so it can have its ending the way you envisioned it. And when whoever this is, or whatever this is, comes to you with like, well, I can offer you this, how enthusiastic are you going to greet that? Because I know how enthusiastic you probably used to. And this could be somebody you have just thought of for forever, as that'll come back. They just need space. I love them enough to give them space. Solomon's baby, let a butterfly go if it comes back to you. All that stuff. Cancer is real good at that. It'll hurt you inside while you're giving that space, but you'll need them to be happy more than you need to lay claim to them. So now that they're going to give you a small response, how are you going to meet that? Right? Because you don't want to be the defensive end of Cancer. You don't want to just go like, yeah, come in, crawl under my shell. We're all good again. We're all good again. That's all I needed. I just needed that crumb. We're all good. Even Steven, right? And you don't want to just be all pincers and be like, I don't know who you are. You're dead to me now. It's finding the balance, right? We may laugh and there's plenty of memes and TikToks about the two sides of Cancers. And there's two sides of every sign and every energy, but it's that finding that balance, man. Because one of the things about Cancer is that they're either fully vulnerable, right? Guts on the table, or good luck. And the good luck part of them, the pincer part of them, that is protective. It's protective of the vulnerable side, right? Like, duh, that's what shells are for. Besides attachment and a whole bunch of other stuff, part of the life experience with Cancer energy and fourth house energy is to learn how to not be vulnerable right away. You can be vulnerable. It's part of who you are, but not in the very first 30 seconds, and also not to either be in that mode or shut everyone and everything out mode. It starts with this test, Cancer. Crabbies need to say no to shitty love. Yeah. And it's scary. It's scary for if you're the person who says, that's okay. I understand because that's how you feel right now. That's okay because, you know, I'll take the hit on the chin so we can keep this because there's so much love here, right? If you're the that's okay person, when you are brave enough to say that's not okay, it's not okay because you are risking that person walking away. There might be a moment afterwards that you feel deep loss and you grieve and you second guess how you should have said it, if you should have said it, why you couldn't have given them more space, why you couldn't have been more empathetic, right? And then I would like to remind you that empathy does not mean to accept bad behavior. Having empathy for where somebody's coming from and why they are acting, exchanging, feeling, doing the way that they are in life or towards you does not mean that you can have empathy and not continue to accept bad behavior towards yourself. It doesn't mean it's going to go your way either. It doesn't mean they're going to be like, you taught me so much. Of course you're right. It doesn't mean it's going to go that way. But I promise you that universe will recognize, aha, and send people your way. I won't put you in that position as much. Woof. All right, Leos. I thought I'm going to pull one card for each person. I do this every time. I'm going to pull one card. I'm going to be able to get through all 12 signs in an hour. Easy. We're on sign 5 out of 12, and it's an hour. And I have someplace to be in a half an hour. So this may be a continued tomorrow because I don't want to skimp on the last signs. And I don't want to do the other 6 next week because next week we're going to do love. Exciting and new. If you're old like me, you know what that's from. Okay. Leo, 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So the 7 of Cups feels like a really bad version of the shell game. Is that like if you only know if you're like from a big city or New York? Y'all know what the shell game is, right? Like, you know, where's the good thing? Where's the thing I want? And we see like a bat wing, which isn't necessarily bad at all. Bats are not bad. I mean, I don't want to be hanging out with one in the dark necessarily, but there's a snake here. There's a ladder for growth. There's a bunch of emotion. One of them is hot. They're all different, right? And the thing is that you don't know. There's a lot of choices here. This is Venus and Scorpio. What if I limit myself? Sometimes too, Leo, I'll be honest, you may have been dealing with somebody who had their finger in too many pies. This came out upside down. Yep, you guys got it. This came upside down, okay? So when this is in reverse, the 7 of Cups, people who made you feel like a choice maybe will understand better that either there's going to be a reckoning or a finding out. Leo, 5th house placements. This person could be outed for their finger in too many pies behavior, or they could just get to a place where they're like, I am screwing everything up now. This could also be you not wanting to limit yourself and feeling like there were too many choices. And now you feel like you know what you want. Now you feel like you know what you want. Listen, Leos had the Venus in retrograde in their sign. You've had the nodal axis and eclipses squaring your sign for the last couple of years. You have Pluto about to oppose your sign. You have Saturn that just left from opposing your sign a year ago. You have Uranus squaring your sign for years and will continue. I'm just being honest. And Pluto opposing is probably going to just give you challenge to transform certain things in your life. Starting next fall, you're also, well, it's late summer into fall. Is it? Or is it? It starts, I think it states late fall, early winter. I'll have to check the dates on that. But Mars will go into retrograde in Leo. Think it's not an 8-month deal like Gemini was, but Mars is going into retrograde in your sign. If you are a Leo or you have Leo, you know, everybody's got Leo in a certain house, even if it's intercepted, whatever the subjects are of that house, you've probably been cleaning house. You've probably had a lot of, what the hell is happening? You probably had people surprise you, hurt you, maybe betray you. And I'm not a fearmonger, but taking stock or feeling like I have all of these friends. No, I don't. I'm a little leery, and I'm going to choose carefully where I put my energy, where I put my time. If you don't have Leo placements, look right now what house it's in. And if you ever want me to do like a video about like house subjects, we can do that. Or I can do that for you guys. So whatever the house subjects are that, you're probably looking at things like loyalty. What do things look like rather than what they are? Where have you happily acted in approval of your friends, your family, your job, whatever it may be, that reassurance of belonging that feels like it doesn't any longer serve you. You're tired of Mars BS. It's going to start in Leo, and it's actually going to, I talk about Lori Rivers all the time. She's just brilliant. And so authentic and so real, and just, anyway, she was just saying that she looked and when, Pluto went into Capricorn, in 2008, it was opposing Mars at the time. And now, which is really rare because it would have been, you know, not that that part's rare. When it leaves, it'll be opposed Mars again because of that retrograde. So it's going to start in Leo and go into the end degrees of Cancer. It's going to be interesting. That's a whole other probably live stream. But go follow Lori Rivers or the Woke Astrologer on TikTok and YouTube. She's talking about it. And of course she did the research and everything to go look at that because she's always looking a year or two ahead. Leo, I promise you, you're kind of in a cleaning closet space, either in that house that everyone's got Leo in, or just in your life. Hi, Teresa. Emily and I walking around the house going, lady, please. It's everything now. And we used to say to my mom was, hey, lady. I called her all the time. Like it was actually, if you were to go on our Hulu or Netflix, anything, instead of it saying like mom or grandma, said, hey, lady. So now we're walking around the house saying, lady, please. Back to this. Listen. It's going to feel like you have a lot less choices, Leo. But the choices that you have, you'll know what you're dealing with. This is the epitome of, like I said, when I first opened up this card reading for Leo, it's like a bad version of the shell game. Where is the thing that I want? Which one of these is the right? Do I need a little snake energy? Do I need to deal with other snakes? Do I need to be resilient? Do I just want to grow and go, what has fog around it? What's not truthful? What's full of emotion? Is it emotion I want to deal with? You're not, I said in Aries, people are revealing themselves. Authenticity is the vibe. Authenticity is the vibe. Right? And I've been saying for quite some time, and especially when we had that Neptune in retrograde for 6 months, and just other astrological things and metaphysical, truth be out. We sometimes enjoy that when it's happening in a collective, depending on who you are. But it's not as fun when it's happening in your real life. Because when somebody turns out to not be who you thought they were when you let them in close, it's not about that person. As much as we want to like, oh my God, to somebody else on the phone, am I crazy? But that's the thing, right? It's how it makes us, it's how it makes us feel like we can't trust ourselves. Leo, when we walk into 2025, you are going to be the one. You are going to be the one that I'm certainly going to say, what do you think of this? You're going to be able to smell people out. You're going to be able to know. You're going to have reinforced trust in yourself. It will be less scary to feel like who you can trust. I am seeing this sense of like the last person I dealt with had too many people they were talking to, were very good at saying like, no, you're being insecure, blah, 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 blah. And it was exactly what you thought it was, right? So then the next person that you're dealing with, whether it's a friend or a romance, you're looking for somebody who's so adoring of you that they're like, here's my phone, here's my everything, never gaslight you. And then that turns out to be a different kind of issue. They're obsessive, they're jealous, now you're getting blamed for things you didn't do, right? It's that extreme overcorrection. If this part of somebody's personality has done you grimy, then the next person you pick will have none of that. And we're just looking to make sure that they are void of, the hair of the dog. We don't want any of what we just had that hurt us. So all we're doing is looking for the void of those characteristics, of those signs. And what we're doing is missing the other signs. And then after a while, it just becomes like, who can I trust? Where can I? Where can I feel loyalty? Like real loyalty, and not just in the beginning, they're telling me what I want to hear. That is all going to become so much clearer, and you are no longer going to pick people based on the void of the last characteristic that burnt you, that did you grimy. I mean, that's a human experience, but I just feel it's so strong for for Leo. Take a sip of water. All right, we're going into Virgo. Welcome, Jody. Welcome to the membership. Please, when this is done, and for anybody that's listening that hasn't already, I think we just have like 2 people. Go watch the, it's pinned when you go onto the membership tab now, because you'll see that on my YouTube. It's not the first thing, but just scroll a little. You'll see the welcome video. Watch that. It has the link to the membership form, which I can't give you anything without the membership form. And it has the link to the Discord, which is a lot of fun. Because the people in the membership are funny and insightful and real and vulnerable and supportive. And it's a private chat, so but you know, you can attach videos there, you can attach funny gifts. We take advantage of that. That's all attached to the welcome video. Thank you, Jody. Okay. I think we're going to do Virgo. I'm going to do the giveaway, and then I'm going to do the other 6. Do I want to do? I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow. I want you to put right now in the chat if you had to like watch from work or whatever, like what's a good I think like it usually says like between 12 and noon. Even on a weekday is good. But if that's not good for I know like much later than 2 or 3 o'clock, like is 2 or 3 o'clock better? Because that's better for my friends in Sweden and England. And people are, you know, can possibly just put an earbud in while they're working. That's terrible. But I know a lot of y'all do it. I feel like when people are in the car or sleeping are the 2 times that it's just like never going to work, you know? So like 5 o'clock is really bad for people of Eastern time, and anywhere between 5 and 9 is bad for all the other, because they're either sleeping or in a car in a commute. Okay. One vote for noon. Interesting, interesting, interesting. 4 of Pentacles in reverse, Virgo. I love this. You know what the 4 of Pentacles, you know what the 4 of Pentacles is? And if you're watching this in the replay, leave me in a comment what time works for you for tomorrow. I get that a lot of people are just going to watch the replay, but, you know, if it works, it works. So 4 of Pentacles, for me, is the scene from The Jerk. Again, I'm sorry I make all these old people references, right? So, like, the scene from The Jerk where he's, like, finding out he's got no more money. He's getting kicked out of his own house. His grab him glasses make somebody cross-eyed. That movie. And he's like, all I need is this belt and this chair and this book of matches, and that's all I need. And as he goes through the house, like, he's losing everything, but he's like, I don't need any of this. I just need this chair, this book of matches, this belt, and this, I can't remember the other thing. He grabs, and that's all I need. And so that is the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles usually shows somebody like this. And I have been talking, especially lately, about, like, it's hard for us to welcome in new things that are good for us. It's hard to welcome in new love and abundance and all of that when our arms are like this. I don't want to share this with anyone. Mine, mine, mine. Down, 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 right? Attachment. Also, this card for me is about trying to take things that no longer serve you into what tomorrow looks like, if tomorrow needs to look different. Listen, if you're doing everything perfect, good on you. Give me a call. Let me know the formula. If everything in your life is perfect, you could be happy without everything being in your life being perfect. But if you want no change tomorrow, you feel like you did all the growing, everything fantastic, then you're not worried about tomorrow looking a little different than today. I think for the rest of us, we're probably looking for tomorrow in some way that we experience growth. We learn a new word. My whole life, all I've said is just, I want to be a little bit smarter tomorrow than I was today. I want to learn something. I want to know something. I want to feel something, right? That satiates me. It also puts it on me. It puts the responsibility on me. It also makes me open up to things that I don't know instead of doing this. I thought it was the Four of Pentacles. It was the Page of Pentacles, Jody. Both in reverse, though. So this Four of Pentacles is... This is mine. That is yours. Calculating everything instead of just being like this. So that universe can also bring it in. I am not worried if I mean, I don't want... When I do anything with Nicole, it's not because I want to capitalize off of her in any way. I want to see her grow and be happy. She's a medium. I'm not. But we both read tarot. And if we discuss tarot, or if I show her something for graphics or business or social media or anything, like, there's no part of me that thinks like, oh no, now she's going to go, you know, do better than me, or and you know, if I did, that probably wouldn't serve me very well, right? So this is Four of Pentacles. This is Four of Pentacles in reverse. Virgo, it came out in reverse. You are letting... Now, let's be clear too. You're less worried about the things that have made you... When we have that, all I need is this book of matches and this belt and this chair, and that's all I need, right? When we have this is safety. Let's not shame the people who are walking around like mine, 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 down, down, down. Those are people who, for whatever reason, have some kind of wound around sharing, being taken advantage of, or they're just, you know, they have childhood stuff. Often people like that had a sibling situation where they feel that one child was favored more. One sibling was favored more. When we are also walking around like this, that is safety, because we don't rely on other people to keep us safe. That's kind of sad, right? But it's a common experience. Virgo, for you especially, when you are letting go of those safety features, right? It's like letting go of anything that's an extra added measure because we don't feel confident or we don't feel secure. Virgos are growth whores. They are all about being better than they were the day before. All about it. You have made some, and I am seeing not like a slow transition. There has been some kind of leap. There has been some kind of shutdown and then open back up. And the shutdown, this part, is so that you feel safe in your exploration of what comes next. Aw, thanks, Jody. You're not weighing things as much. You're not, and Virgos are very good at allowing people to be who they are. They mostly put the pressure on themselves. Can we be a little bit difficult? But like I said yesterday at the end of the party, when everybody was like, Lee, you did a great job. And I was like, she gets a lot of credit because she put up with her Virgo rising mom for a week in preparation. Do you know how anal I am about? There was about 6 spreadsheets just for the party, and I'm not kidding. With check boxes and this and I'm always like, due diligence, right? So it's not like we can't. We feel like if you're gonna deal with us, just know there's an advisory warning here, right? I'm gonna have spreadsheets and checklists because the panic of me not doing it right. Right? And that really comes from a wound, not a perfectionist, like everybody else sucks and I do it better. Please know that that's always from a wound. This 4 of Pentacles in reverse means you're open up, right? Which is great. It also means, yeah, I was like not worried about her moderating today. She should certainly have a day off for me. I am honest about who I am. She gets a day off from me. So if we're not as feeling the need to be closed, it means we're feeling a little safer. This is safer. This is less shut down out of safety. And listen, when we shut down because of safety, there's 0 shame in that. Don't shame people who are shut down. That's their safety place. People express it healthy, or sometimes they just shut down and it's just about them, right? Other people don't do it in such a healthy way. You could just choose not to exchange with them. But let's not shame people who are having a hard time feeling safe, right? When we have this, though, I can feel it to my toes. And I keep hearing the song, Here Comes the Sun. Doo, 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 doo. Oof, this feels like now I'm gonna cry again. This definitely feels like coming out of the dark. This feels like, again, I can't just say it enough, safety. I so want to pull another card for Virgo. I can just tell you from personal experience, there's universe rewards authenticity and it rewards less scorekeeping. And it's really easy for Virgos to go into scorekeeping mode because they're grading themselves. They're a sign of service. So they're happy to help you. So, right? A lot of times you'll find Virgos behind the scenes. They talk about, is it George Lucas? I think, was it his wife that's like a Virgo and she helped edit and everything? You never really hear about her. She helped him with a lot of things with editing, right? Virgos are good at editing. So they're happy to help and not get a lot of, adulation. They will be fine to be of service, but I can't help feeling like whatever you just went through, and I want to say it's like 6-8 months, maybe a little longer. The scorekeeping for yourself, the grading of yourself, your own performance, and how that's reflected from others. Because, Virgos, you cannot. You have nothing to do with the free will of other people. It still can be frustrating when you give and give, right? This feels very similar to Gemini, and you're both Mercury runs. So that makes me want to go look at the sky. It makes me want to go look at the transits for today. This feels like less judging of your own reaction. Less, I have to act this way. That's what it is. Oof. There may be an instinct to react a certain way that for you feels out of character and something that you don't want to be. Something that you don't want to be, some way that you don't want to, you constantly say and die on the hill of, I don't do this so I can lay my head on the pillow at night, which is a very Virgo thing to say. And then all of a sudden you find yourself really wanting to do the thing that you swear you never do, or you just out of a reaction. And you are so outside of how you feel or score keep that your character looks, that it almost closes you down a little bit, because you are, your inner critic is the MVP of inner critics. This is about no longer scorekeeping and counting for yourself. That has been a journey for a while. This also probably has to do with like taking the high road, which is funny to me right now, because that was also a conversation last night. Sometimes this is about not being messy. Judging yourself for allowing yourself to be human and getting messy. You got messy. It happened. That was the springboard to some other kind of growth. And I can truly feel it. I feel, again, I don't see this like slow, because that's like Virgo's usually like slow, steady progress. This feels like something you really got over. But man, is the reward coming in good. I want to draw another card because I want to see what it is, but we're not going to do that. The full readings are on Wednesdays. All right, let's give away something. I gave away like a bazillion readings last night, or yesterday during the party. So I think what I would like to give away is your choice of chart and report. So, I mean, for what you can literally just go to my Etsy store, figure out which one you want and that you don't have, because like a lot of you have a lot of them. And then email me and let me know all the contact info. But let's okay, I think I did that off camera. I have my hand on something, so just breathe in. You can do the thing that I'm always teaching you guys with the third eye. I'm thinking of the color that I'm holding. I'm thinking of the word. Like in my head, I'm drawing, like, remember Kermit with his finger? Drawing the word. And I'm thinking of the color and I'm holding the color. Whoever guesses the color, you win. I have to stop doing guess the color. I really do. Because at this point, you all are so tapped in. I wanted you to let it go just a little longer, but quite honestly, Teresa guessed it first guess. These are my Family Feud cards. Name a reason you might be late to work. We didn't even do that one. It was yellow. So Teresa, go on to the Etsy store. All the links are in the description box. Or you can get to the Etsy store from my website because there's like a little button. You're the first guest, and I was like, I'm just going to let people guess for a minute because it feels like, wah, wah, game's over. And yay, Teresa, you could use some like good, happy stuff right now. Everybody send Teresa a big hug and some well wishes to feel better. That makes me happy. And I know you just got a thing as a door prize. So this I was gonna like say you get this, but let's not do that. Just go on the Etsy store and pick something out. And then email me and tell me what you want. Okay. I love you. No, you love you. I appreciate this community so much. I am off to a seminar to make my brain bigger to share with all of you. And I'm so excited about the educator. So I will see you all tomorrow. Unless somebody leaves me more times, I think we'll probably do around noon tomorrow. Unless I have somebody, I have to check and see when I have a session. And I'll see you all Wednesday. And I promise those extendeds are coming from membership, and welcome Jody to membership. And that's it. And I love you guys. All right. Bye.